أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. زين للناس حب الشهوات من النساء والبنين والقناطير المقنطرة من الذهب والفضة والخيل المسومة والأنعام والحرث ذلك متاع الحياة الدنيا والله عنده حسن المآب. قل أنبئكم بخير من ذلكم للذين اتقوا عند ربهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها وأزواج مطهرة ورضوان من الله والله بصير بالعباد. الذين يقولون ربنا إننا آمنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وقنا عذاب النار. الصابرين والصادقين والقانتين والمنفقين والمستغفرين بالأسحار. صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Today inshallah we'll start with Surah Al-Imran, ayah 14 to ayah 17. So in the previous ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has talked about the kuffar, the state of kuffar, and how they will be overpowered and overcome by Muslims. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is hinting at a problem that is at the core of all that is wrong with the kuffar, that has caused them to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And through this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also warning Muslims that if you develop these things, then they will make you to tread on the path of those kuffar or non-believers. Zuyyina linnasi, it has been made attractive for people. Nas is people. Zuyyina linnas, it has been made beautiful or attractive. Hubbu shahawati, to love the desired things. Shahawat are desires. So shahawat, here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used this word to explain the desires. And all of these pertain to this dunya. Minan nisa, women, wal baneen, children, wal qanatir al muqantarati min al dhahabi wal fidda. Qanatir al muqantara is here has translated hoarded heaps, collected big collections or heaps, heaped up. Qanatir al muqantarati, of what? Min al dhahab wal fidda, of gold and silver. Wal khayl al musawwama, branded horses. Wal an'am, cattle. Wal harth, and tillage or crops. So these are the things that these people hold dear. So in the tafsir, Hazrat al-Fasreen have written that these things all have one thing at their root, that all these things pertain to this dunya. All of them are things of this dunya, and all of them will remain in this dunya. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Zuyyina linnas, for all people, these have been made attractive. So for all people, be it believers, be it non-believers, naturally these things have been made attractive. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is explaining, talking to the people of that time, so giving examples from those days. Minan nisa, of women, and then of offsprings or children, then heaped up wealth, gold, silver, also includes currency, money, all sorts of money. Wal khayl al musawwama, and at that time, horses and branded horses, high class horses, were considered a thing of pride, something that everyone loved, everyone wanted to have. At this time, we can take the example of good cars, high quality, high branded cars, cars of higher brands. Wal khayl al musawwamati wal an'ami wal harth, and again two other things of wealth: an'am or cattle, harth, tillage or crops. So all of those things pertain to dunya, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that we have made human beings in a way that naturally love of these things, or the human heart is attracted to these things. And this is common between the Muslims and the non-Muslims. But the problem with the kuffar is that they have went above and beyond the limits set by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the love and in the effort to achieve these things. So Hazrat Mufassirin have written that in the ending part of this ayah where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, ذَلِكَ مَتَاعُ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا, this is an enjoyment of the worldly life, or this is something, مَتَاعُ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا, this is something that you will use in this hayat dunya, in this worldly life. Wallahu indahu husnul ma'ab. But if you compare it to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has, that is husnul ma'ab. With Allah lies the beauty of the final resort, the final resting place, the best result, the best of things lie with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wallahu indahu husnul ma'ab. Hazrat Mufassirin have said that to love these things and to make an effort within limits to achieve these things, to get by in this world, is not only permitted but also recommended. But where do things become wrong? Things become wrong when, number one, a person starts to go after these things and loses the care of what is permitted and what is impermissible. So starts to make the effort of achieving these things and stops caring about halal and haram. The halal and haram ways of achieving these things, number one. The other way that a person can go wrong with is the excessive love of these things. And such an excessive love that his whole point of life becomes the effort to achieve these things. So excessive effort, although it may be halal, he's achieving those things through a halal or permissible manner, but he's doing it excessively. He's crossing the boundary. He's losing sight of the reality and getting indulged totally in this. Now Hazrat Mufassirin have also written some wisdom behind it, that why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made human beings in a way that they love these things. There's three reasons that Hazrat Mufassirin have written. The first one is that if that was not there, the whole system of the world would crash. And this is, if you went to school here or wherever, you also read this in economics, that all the world system is running based on greed. If people don't want things, they don't work for them. And when they don't work for them, if nobody works for anything, the system of this world is not going to work. So I need money, so I go and earn, and I make an effort for it. With whatever I do for earning, the earning of so many other people is attached. That is how the whole system of the world is running. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the first wisdom behind putting the love of these things or an attraction to these things in the hearts of human beings is that the whole system of the world is based on this. Number two, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to long and desire the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prepared for us in Jannah. But if we don't have any desire for these things, we will not develop the yearning. So if we don't have to begin with, we have zero attraction to any beauty. If we have zero attraction to any wealth, if we have zero attraction to good and bigger places of living, then we will not even be attracted to the places of the blessings of Jannah. So to give just a little of that and to create an attraction to that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has intended for us to yearn for so much more of it that we will get in Jannah, inshallah. And when we go after the things of this world, whatever we do, very soon we find out that there is this imperfection, there is this drawback, there is this drawback in this. For example, you get the best car, you'll still be able to find faults in it. You get the best of women, you'll still be able to find shortcomings in them. Similarly, you talk about tillage, the crops, everything has imperfections in it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to yearn for the perfection that we will get in Jannah, inshallah. Third and the most important that Hazrat Mufassirin have written is that therein has been put a test for every human being. If there was no attraction, there would not have been any test. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to test us that after this attraction has been put in our hearts, do we still follow the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or this attraction or this love of these things, these worldly petty things, overcomes and overpowers our love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the akhirah. So this is the chief purpose that a little of attraction has been put in our hearts to test us, so that we are tested, that who do we give preference to, who do we give more importance to, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or these things of this world. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is warning us and telling us very clearly, Wallahu indahu husnul ma'ab, definitely with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lies the best of things, the best and the final resort. Okay. Inshallah, we'll do the next ayah tomorrow. This is connected, but since we spent 10 minutes, we'll do it tomorrow, inshallah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidil mursaleen. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين. صلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. آمين برحمتك.